Why, hello everybody. Welcome to Final Fantasy VII, the remake. This is going to be a playthrough and a lore exploration of this game. We have a lot to ground to cover, not because it's going to be on the channel soon, but because Rebirth comes out, and I'd actually like to play that before I get to do it on the channel, and I'd like to play it sooner than later, which means I need to actually get this finished. So for once, I can't be asked. I'm sorry. We're gonna be pushing pretty hard through this. So we're gonna be doing the main story and then intermission at the end. So we'll be getting a feel for both. So without any further delay, Final Fantasy VII, the remake on PS5. Everybody, let's go.
Get down here, Merc.
Like putting on a pair of old shoes. Welcome to Chapter 1, Destruction of Mako Reactor 1. Let's begin.
Halt! Who goes there? You're up.
The Remake is an action RPG with some more traditional elements sprinkled in. And I think I'm fairly comfortable in saying that after having played a bit of it now over the last year or so. While I haven't been able to beat the game, I have played a decent amount. So let's jump in with Square being our primary attack.
With us. Nice and easy. Don't think so. Not bad.
Yeah, well, they were only a couple days away from retirement. They should be fine.
Who in the hell? Hands where I can see them.
Have fun.
Alright, as you do attacks and do actions, your ATB bar will fill. That bar dictates what kind of things you're able to do. Certain actions will require 1 bar, and some actions will require 2 bars. So, here's the thing. Fundamentally, the thing I want you all to remember when you're playing this game is that there's no reason to not use your ATB bar. Like, there's no reason to save it in the context of any particular fight. Right? The majority of shit doesn't carry over from battle to battle, so there's no benefit to you holding on to something on the likelihood you might use it later. If you have it, use it. You're honestly holding yourself back by not using it.
Freeze! Move and we shoot! Go ahead.
So you can see there, I build up my ATB gauge, so now we're going to press X and bring up the command menu. The command menu let me do spells and abilities. We're going to use abilities. We're going to use focus thrust, mostly because he's standing right there. And he goes down. Easy. So when you're not in battle, you can use the start button to bring up your main menu, and you can also use the touchpad to bring up your map button. Your map, I should say. So there's your map, and then the main button will bring up your start menu, your main menu. But we'll be diving into this way more later. That's going to have a lot more relevance as we go further into the game.
Drop the weapon!
You got this.
Yeah, what'd he say?
So you have access to both guard and evade. Here's the thing. I think in most situations how I tend to play, if I'm really going to be on the defensive that hard, I'm just going to guard, not evade. I usually use evading as a quick means of repositioning more than I use it as a means to guard, because there are other things you can do to kind of get an edge in battle. Sometimes trading is almost kind of necessary, but we're going to get into the whole trading hits thing a little later. So let's go.
Can't get surrounded. Need a light.
And right there you can kind of see that within the animation, since the actual combat doesn't stop when you open the command menu, the character is still in animation. So depending on how you want to utilize that, you can actually use that in a situation where your character is animating an attack in one direction, but you can throw, say, a spell in the other direction. And depending on where he is in that animation, he'll just finish that first attack and then go straight to the spell, which could be pretty useful. So triangle can open chests. Keep an eye on these. They're all over the goddamn place. Alright, got some grenades. We'll be using those at some point. Alright, as you go through the game, you'll find Shinra boxes with their logo on it. Smash them because fuck capitalism.
Not on the same page as people.
I'd say you're not even reading the same book.
Enough. We're done here.
Or even the same...
Give it a rest.
You'll keep us safe, right, Cloud?
Yeah, sure. Why not? God knows you guys can't fucking do it. Although I'm getting an odd sense of deja vu.
Come on, nobody do something this crazy just for money. They may not think you're a true believer, but you know what I think?
Not interested.
What?
Wedge. You better be worth the money, Merc. Every last gill.
Damn, I love the fact that they recreated so many of those iconic early moments of Final Fantasy VII in like the same, like a different way, but like the same context. It's really amazing, honestly. Alright, locking on to targets. So we're going to jump into a concept here, which is the most annoying enemies you might want to get rid of first. Unless, of course, they're really annoying, then don't. I know that sounds stupid, but 9 times out of 10, I always say you either want to isolate the most difficult enemies, or you want to get rid of them first. It just depends on how you look at combat.
Guess you're first. All right.
So, Punisher mode is weird, and I don't really want to go into it yet because it's not relevant to the game's explanations. I will simply say this. It is in your best interest to become very comfortable with Punisher mode.
Looks like you're next.
I realize it's early in the game and the game hasn't even talked about it yet, but in the context of killing certain enemies you're going to run into, and in this game's case, at least, there's at least one boss that I know of that basically requires the use of it.
See ya. That was never in doubt.
Hey, Cloud! Elevator's over there! Catch up soon!
You know it. We're going to get into Punisher mode in a little bit. The game's going to kind of explain it, and I'm going to go into my own little personal rant about it because it's something that the game, I don't think the game does a great job of explaining just how important it is, because it is important, and it's actually an alternative in many cases to blocking. Is there an item back here? I don't remember. Ah, there is. Yeah, thank you.
This way.
Huh?
Not so fast. We've got company.
Think you can stop me?
I doubt they think that, but I think they're gonna try.
Nothing to it.
All right, open you. You kind of have to love their naivety in thinking that a guy carrying a sword literally as large as he is can be taken out by a couple of Shinra patrolmen? Basically? Infantrymen? I guess infantrymen's probably closer to like an actual analog. I was gonna call them guardsmen, but they're more like they're more like just, you know, patrolmen really. Foot soldiers, how about that? Grunts.
Pick up the pace. Soldiers may attack on command, but I hear they make good guard dogs too. Bet you've seen a few reactors. So how do we get to the bridge above Mako storage? Ain't holding out on me, are you? Stamp scared to bite the hand that fed him? Or is he a loyal little doggy? Have it your way, Mutt. We can do this with you, or we can do this without you.
Different reactor, different layout. Depends when it was built. Never seen one like this, but I'll manage.
All right. Let's talk to you.
Don't you worry. Biggs will have the door open soon.
I hope so. Actually, does Barrett say anything else to me?
I'm watching you.
Nigga, watch these nuts.
In 3, 2, damn, I'm good.
Who's there? Door! Oh, wait! It's over!
That's my line.
Nice. Alright, so Punisher mode. Punisher mode is like a really high intensity damage dealing mode that also ranks up pressure. The problem with it is that, one, you don't have access to certain tools. So you can block, but you cannot evade. And blocking is actually super useful within Punisher mode specifically, because when you're in Punisher mode and you decide to block, if they hit you with a physical move, you go into a counterattack, in like a sort of an automatic counterattack situation. While this is a fairly situational thing, there are quite a few enemies throughout the game where utilizing this and other means is almost kind of required. And there's at least one boss I know, top of my head, for sure, is almost required you use this. I haven't beaten the game, so I can't speak on the rest of it, but I know for sure there's one boss, goddamn, that requires it.
He's alone! We can...
So as it says here, in addition, every time he guards an enemy's melee attack, he'll do a counter blow. He cannot, however, guard against range. He cannot guard against range attacks or magic. When you evade such attacks, you will switch back to operator mode. So if you try to evade or use the roll button, you'll switch back into normal. You'll switch back into your normal operator mode.
Make it rain!
But against most common enemies, you're really not at risk.
We're back.
Then let's move.
He always knows just what to say.
Cut it out.
Alright, what do you
Well,
have to say?
what are you waiting for?
Oh, I guess nothing. Well, what about you?
Simmer down, hotshot. Simmer down, hotshot.
Alright, nothing.
It's a good thing I know someone who can get us the passcodes. Pity no one else at command will talk to us, but what can you do? And we're good.
Careful in there. I got this place covered.
Alright, so we got some Shinra boxes. Fuck capitalism! And we got a chest. So let's open this too. Fuck chests.
Security is only gonna get tighter, so be ready. We can't afford any more mistakes.
What mistakes have we made?
Looks like the elevator's on another floor. Mind pushing that button? So, you know Tifa, right? It's not really my business, but are you guys close?
Cloud! Are you ignoring me?
Tifa and I.
These sewer rats appear to call themselves Avalanche, sir. We are currently investigating whether they belong to the same group that made the attempt on your life. Rest assured, our inquiries will not take much longer.
This pump's sole purpose is to drain the planet dry. While you sleep, while you eat, while you shit, it's here sucking up Mako. It doesn't rest, and it doesn't care. You do realize what Mako is, don't you? Mako is the lifeblood of our world. The planet bleeds green like you and me bleed red. The hell you think's gonna happen when it's all gone, huh? Answer me! You gonna stand there and pretend you can't hear the planet crying out in pain? I know you can!
You really hear that?
Damn straight I do!
Get help.
Say that again!
I'd worry less about the planet and more about the next 5 seconds. Save the screaming for later.
Our lives are on the line now. You listening, Merc? One false move. And that happens.
Well, so much for having Cloud do all the fighting. There are some places a sword just can't reach. Just bear with him for me, would you?
Yeah.
Should have asked for more money.
Barrett Wallace joins the party. So Barrett's thing, in case you've never played Final Fantasy VII before, The man's got a gun. That's it. He's got a gun. I don't know what to tell you. He's got a gun. He's really good at it. By pressing and holding down the square button, he does sustained bursts of automatic fire.
Gonna throw your sword
Like
at
this.
him. Let the man with the gun go to work. These tin cans ain't got
He also has a move called Overcharge.
now for the real show.
So the thing about Overcharge, which I find to be uniquely interesting, is that you actually get more out of it by charging it than you do actually using it half the damn time. So you can see here, if you press triangle while in control of Barret, you deliver an overcharge attack. Once it's unleashed, continue pressing triangle, and he will start trying to recharge it, and it'll speed up the process. But you also get back a decent. But whenever you use overcharge, you actually get a good amount of your ATB back. So there's actually a benefit to using it outside of just the damage reasons, right? So it's rewarding you for doing something with your ATB. It's rewarding you for doing an action, basically. Nice. Switching characters. So by using the D-pad, you can switch characters, and then by using the L and R command within the command menu, you can actually issue commands between the characters. So you could be controlling Cloud and still issue like a command to Barret if you want to go through and check what commands they're using. I'll show you an example. So we can switch over to Cloud. Cloud will use fire. And we'll go right back to using Barret. Nice.
Oh, we're done here.
I actually missed out on a decent bit of dialogue between them, where if you switch out, Cloud tells Barret to move the hell over. But I mean, it's all good. There's plenty of like funny dialogue.
The laser security system. Great.
Those things will hurt more than your pride if you're careless. They'll cut you down to size and then some. But I'm guessing you've done this kind of thing before.
Yeah. Figure out the timing of the lasers. Then, make a move when they cycle off.
Exactly. I'll go first. Nothing like a little danger to get the blood pumping.
Hey!
Just keep those baby blues of yours on me.
All right.
Not too shabby. You're doing good, soldier.
Is there anything else here? I think I got everything. There wasn't too much up here to begin with.
Come on, then. Pretty easy, right? You okay?
Ah, damn it. I got antsy.
Nice job, Phew. Well, I'm glad that's over with. And we're all... Look. They don't call those things sweepers for nothing. They can wipe out a whole squad in seconds.
Not if you wipe the floor with them first.
And we plan to. This is actually a great situation for me to demonstrate just how good Punisher mode can be in situations where you might think operator mode might be better. Because so here's the thing about boss fights. Your primary goal is to stagger. That is your goal. That is your modus operandi in battle, is to stagger your enemy. Everything you should be doing should be furthering the goal to stagger. Now, pretty much anything you do to an enemy will stagger, but there's certain things you can do that will build it quicker. So special moves will oftentimes do it. Magic will do it. Your Punisher mode will do it. Really, everything does it, but just certain actions do it better. But that is your goal, to stagger and then fuck them up as fast as possible. So you can see staggering enemies, certain attacks dealing large amounts of damage will temporarily knock an enemy off balance, and pressured will appear underneath their gauge. When this happens, pelt them with spells and abilities quickly to stagger their gauge. Once it's full, you can stagger them. Nice. Staggered foes. When an enemy is staggered, they're going to take way more damage. Using unique abilities on staggered foes will quickly boost your ATB gauge. Boost your ATB gauge quickly so you can continue fucking them up.
Don't need to tell me twice. I'm gonna enjoy this. Get your ass out of here. What are you, 20-something?
First. Soldier first class. Doesn't go into the 20s.
The hell you talking about? I mean your age, not your goddamn rank. Though for all I know, a soldier's rank could be the same as his age. Guess that make you a 1-year-old, huh? Live and learn.
Alright, everybody. I'm going to wrap this episode up here, as next episode's going to be pretty loaded as it is, and I see no reason to try to stuff too much into a single video. Until then, everybody, stay tuned, and we'll see you next time.